Hello and welcome back to Sound Healing, a Horse of a Different Color. Last week, as you recall, we were working with power animal journeys, and I'm just going to ask Mischa briefly how her homework went, if she has had time, and if you have had time to facilitate a session. Any luck there?
I partially facilitated a session with someone who's really uncomfortable with self-descriptive. She's really uncomfortable. It was really interesting. So I feel like it wasn't. She really didn't see it. She came up with nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was hard for me.
Yes.
To have that experience.
And you will have that experience. And this is exactly why we're taping it in real life, because you have to know what to do. What did you do in this instance?
I mean, her biggest concern was, am I making this up? I can't tell if this is real. This might be an imaginary. And for me to counsel her that whatever she was experiencing was a true experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was supportive to her, that was truly like the gift of the session.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, because of that, it was just
there just wasn't any content there to work with,
and that was okay.
Yes.
I mean, so what did we just sort of we switched gears, and that was okay, and
did something else.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And that's why I present the journey like I do, because there are those of you in the audience, again, that have had no experience with journeying and very little even with guided visualization work. And so we kind of go into detail with that just to get you familiar with the process. And so this particular person you might just practice with and just meet with her several times and just see if there's progress in just going on these short journeys and helping her with visualization.
She actually would be open to that. I mean, she did express that.
Yeah.
And part of her core issue is that quality of self-trust.
Yep.
So it's not, it wasn't, I mean, but I also understand as a journeyer that it's hard to know, am I making this up? Is this real? Like, do I try, so I also totally get her concerns around that. Like,
absolutely.
But I also feel like there's something also deeper that she's working on too. That.
Yeah.
And
what I tell students, particularly beginners, is that, whatever comes to you, if you get, the silliest kinds of things that don't make any sense to you, you have to realize that out of all of the images that could come to you, why did those particular ones come at this particular time? So my personal belief system is that things are given by spirit to you as you need them. So don't worry if you're making it up or not. There's so little difference, or if any really, between the imagination and what you're receiving and how you receive intuitively. Who can tell the difference between those two processes? I don't know that there is one. All I know is that whatever images come, trust that they were the right ones for you to be given in that moment.
And actually, that experience, the book 7 Ways to Look at a Dream by, I can't remember the name of the author now.
I don't remember right now either.
But I suggested that book to her. It came up, I'm not exactly positive now specifically how that came up, but I found that can really be a helpful way, again, to piggyback on what you said.
Yeah, and how, there are students that come, or clients that come, that are looking for ways to develop their intuition. And you could do a whole series of coursework or sessions with them just on that process. I think in the beginning of this whole filming process, I talked about my little Montessori bag with a client and reaching in and, imagining what was in that bag and feeling it for textures and what it might smell like and so forth. So you're developing that sensual experience. Another way to do that is with this particular client of yours is to have her just look around the room quickly, close her eyes. What do you remember? What did you see? What did you see? And have that visual recall so that she begins to trust that, oh, well, you know, I saw this and this and this, but then say, all right, do it again and see, are there other things that you didn't notice the first time? So that's a really good practice. You might try that. And I believe Sonia Choquette has a whole book on developing, workbook on developing the intuition that is excellent. I can't recall the name of it right now, but I'll see if I can add that to the long list of bibliography that we've been developing through this. Okay, so good. So thanks, and I hope that you continue to try, you know, both the way you teach journeying and this process as well, and working on, you know, developing the visualization skills with clients.